The Defense Department says no U.S. troops will be punished for a mistaken drone strike in Afghanistan over the summer. It happened in August, 3 days after a suicide bombing at Kabul airport killed 13 U.S. service members and dozens of Afghan citizens. The U.S. launched the drone strike on what was believed to be an ISIS affiliate, but a Pentagon review later found the strike team had been following the wrong target. 10 Afghan civilians, including 7 children, died in the attack. NBC News Pentagon correspondent Courtney Kube joins us now. Courtney, good morning to you. The Pentagon already made the rare admission that this strike was a mistake. Tell us about the internal investigation into what went wrong. What did the investigation find, and who ultimately made the decision to not reprimand any U.S. military personnel?
So there was an investigation that was conducted by the Air Force Inspector General, Lieutenant General Saeed. That came out several weeks ago, and ultimately it found that there were no law of war violations here with this strike. Essentially, it found that there were a number of procedural problems, namely that the U.S. military started following the wrong car earlier in the day, and then there was a series of confirmation bias efforts, essentially by the U.S. military. They kept thinking that what they were watching this car do was only further confirmation that this was a potential ISIS strike, a potential ISIS suicide bomber. So as the day went on, they became more and more convinced that this was the correct car. Ultimately, they took the strike. And of course, initially, the military said that it was a righteous strike. We heard that from the chairman of the Joint Chiefs. Several days later, they came out acknowledging that, in fact, they hit an aid worker, killing him and 9 others, all innocent civilians, including the 7 children that you mentioned. But what happened in the ensuing after the investigation was General Saeed said, look, I'm not recommending any punishment here. That wasn't really for him to determine, but he said it's up to the commanders, based off of everything I found in my investigation, to determine whether there should be any reprimands or punishments among the U.S. military involved. The 2 commanding generals, General Frank McKenzie from CENTCOM and General Rich Clark from SOCOM, ultimately found no punishments were necessary, and Secretary Austin, the Secretary of Defense, he concurred.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.